This is a notification under 18 USC 4 to U.S. Attorney General William Barr. Attorney General Barr, we are about the same age. You are 7 months, 2 days older than I am. And we both know that this tie would have gotten us in trouble back when we were younger. But now it will bring on cheers. It will bring on patriots saying, love your tie, because it's no longer a sacrilege to imitate the tie and all. But it is a sacrilege to do what I just had been told that your U.S. Attorney on the Eastern District, Robert J. Higdon Jr., did in his offices on the 8th floor. I never got there, but the court marshals, one of them told me that Bobby Higdon refused my notification of felonies. Therefore, you're the next up. You're one rank up, a big rank at that. And I'm giving you that same notification, including Bobby J. Higdon, Robert J. Higdon Jr. He refused to do his duties under 18 USC 4. At this point, a person's life is in the balance. Best I know, she's still alive. She can possibly be saved if actions occur timely, but they have not occurred timely. We still have time, potentially, and somehow I've got to be able to wake up the DOJ to allow you to see this. I was in Washington when this happened. After this happened, I went straight there and found how closed down, how locked up tight you are. So no one can get to you to let you know that you've been given notification by publication on YouTube. I'm praying that somebody will see this that has a direct line to you and wants the lady to live, because she's a remarkable woman who survived the Nazis, but she cannot survive your corrupt officials who refuse an 18 USC 4 notification even when they get it. Mr. Trump hasn't gotten his. Others may not have gotten theirs. General James Holmes, head of the Air Combat Command, all military aircraft of the U.S. Air Force, fighter aircraft, combat aircraft. He's in charge of them all. I do believe he knows the notification's there, but he's given orders to the person who ducked the notification here at Seymour Johnson Air Force Base, Wing Commander Don Yates. He's a colonel. I want him out. Get somebody who will abide by Americans' laws. You don't want them in charge of a fighter wing when he ignores America's laws. Now, I admit that Lieutenant Colonel Elizabeth Sprecher, she gave him that legal advice that military authority, hey, ignore it. I'm ignoring it. And so he ignored it. She needs to be taken out of any command position having to do with legal affairs. You don't make up the law, you follow the law until it's changed. That woman, big problem. Colonel Yates attempted Memorial Day to have me change the story where they weren't ducking the notification when we know that they were. When they did not fail to return the phone call from a local lawyer who was a former U.S. Air Force paralegal and had been a lawyer 10 years and had our own office in the very town that they're supposed to be respecting. And instead, an urgent phone call that she made twice while in my presence, and who knows how many outside my presence, never got returned by Lieutenant Colonel Sprecher. That woman has to be cashiered, forced to remove herself by resignation or put up on charges, particularly if Henny Carlisle dies before we get to her and save her. I have 22 felonies, but there's more after that. I'm not even going to point out which ones. They're on the tape to the U.S. Attorney, some of them, Mr. Higdon. But I want you to look at the Donald Trump one. That video is sufficient to give you an idea as to whether or not you want to live up to 18 USC 4. a law that's been in our existence all but less than 2 years. Been in existence less than 2 years of the USA's existence. From the Constitution on, it got passed by the Crime Act of 1790, and a law with the requirements of reporting felonies to a judge or other civil or military authority was in there throughout, I believe, its history, though it's hard to track it. That's 229 years, and yet all these tyrants that have their little petty kingdoms have ignored it, have intentionally violated it, have rejected it. Every one of them should be prosecuted. And yeah, work out plea deals, make them confess that what they did was wrong and that they made a mistake. I don't care about jail time except for the ones that caused by their long delay Henny Carlisle's death, if it does occur. I'm hoping you will save her. I hope that Mr. Trump would, and then I found out Mr. Trump is totally blocked off. I know you're the same, so I don't know how I'm going to get you notified. I don't know how at all, but I'm going to find a way. I'm going to make it hard for someone not to tell you that you got to look at this. This is weird, Mr. Barr. Attorney General Barr, this is weird. It's something that sounds like you need to act on immediately. I'm hoping somebody will do that. And I'll tell you, talk radio. Tomorrow, I'm going to be all over talk radio attempting to make them aware that our people will turn down felonies and say, it's not my job. When the Constitution was just passed, and then they passed the Crime Act of 1790, and it was their job. And they didn't even put in any penalties if an authority violated its oath of office. But there are penalties for that, particularly when a death results. And so, Mr. Higdon, if Henny Carlisle dies, let's say a week from now, you should have a homicide charge hanging around your neck, because you're not an accessory after the fact of her murder. Her murder was ongoing, and you refused to do your job. The U.S. attorney there, I want him prosecuted. He is a pompous ass. You may quote the French or translate it to English, whichever. Mr. Attorney General, you're a sly, slick, very smart attorney. I hope that you go after all criminals from the past 10 years and maybe find a way to extend their statute of limitations by the fact that they were protected by a corrupt set of attorney generals. It might be cute to have to prove it, but I think you can. The attorney generals have befallen a corrupt society that we didn't complain enough. But I think it tolls the statute of limitations when they don't prosecute the crimes. We'll see. I hope you get a few of them anyway. And please save Henny Carlisle. Look at Mr. Trump's tape. The President of the United States doesn't know about this. I hope you will. And I hope you'll act through the FBI DC, not the FBI in North Carolina. They are unfortunately compromised. But bring in a healthcare fraud team together with a rescue team, hostage rescue team, together with an ambulance that can get her out of this God-forsaken world of Wayne County and of the Greenville field office of FBI. Something terrible going on there. I can't explain it. Please save her life. She's a remarkable woman who lived through the Nazis. She shouldn't die from the Americans. Please, do it quick if you're going to do it. Thank you. I'm going to turn you off, me off to you. I don't want to turn you off. You get all the job done. You got enough people that can do it. Send out the FBI rescue teams and make them look good, and arrest the ones in Greenville if they ain't got a good story to tell. Thank you.